Hi everyone, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. As promised, this is my video introducing Nature Image Club. If you are new to my channel, I have several different image clubs that I update every single week. There are Google Drive folders that you get a link to. And if you ever lose the link, all you have to do is message me with your order number and I will give you that link as many times as you lose it. It is not a problem. But every week it is updated with new images. All of them are. I have everything from Vintage Image Club, Modern Maiden Image Club, Faith Image Club, Holiday Image Club, Dreamy Designs Image Club. They all have their own flavor. And if you want to learn more about them, if you're not familiar with them, you can go to my website under Clubs and Collections, and each one explains what it is as well as has examples of what's in it, so you'll know. There's special Christmas pricing on all of them starting now through New Year's. So that'll be fun as well. So this is Nature Image Club. And I hesitated to create this because Vintage Image Club has a ton of nature items in it. And there's probably some nature items in the other clubs. Well, there are nature images in other clubs. I adore nature, especially birds and botanicals. Love them, and woodland creatures, love them. And so I thought I would do my own club, a separate club that is just nature. So if you're a nature lover and you want extra nature that isn't in Vintage Image Club or in one of the other ones, this is going to be both modern and vintage. I would expect it heavily leaning toward vintage, and everything I'm about to show you here is pretty vintage looking, but you know, I will do some more modern stuff too. You know, I'm sure it'll be all mixed up. This is what I have here is what is currently in the club as of filming. And it's not a lot right now, but every week I add approximately 5 images. And you can see those as I add them. You can check in every day, every couple days, and you'll see when they're added. And then I categorize them into the correct folders. For Nature Image Club, right now I have birds, farmland, plants, wild animals, and insects and bugs. I hope to add more categories as I think of more categories. That's what I have so far. So let me show you everything. The introductory pricing is lifetime pricing. No worrying about repeat monthly subscription fees. Whenever you purchase a club, you have it for the lifetime of the club. I have 0 plans for canceling any of my clubs for the foreseeable future. There could come a day when I would need to cancel a club, and then you would get, a certain amount of time to get that all downloaded so you wouldn't lose it. But I don't have any plans at all to do that. I keep adding every week to every single club. And those of you who have purchased previous clubs, you know that. You know how often I add stuff. A lot. And I love it. It's really a passion of mine to find and create these for you to use. And I love that you get new items weekly so that as you're crafting, you can check back and see what I've added and then incorporate them into your weekly crafts. So the first thing I want to show you is this beautiful snowy duck. And I'm going to just chat through this video about a little bit where I found these, how I created them, what I did, my thinking behind it. So I don't always do that. I just feel like doing it today. I think this was from an ephemera piece that I found online. And I think I want to say it was on a card. I'm trying to remember, but the card had been scanned in kind of wonky, and I think it might have had a Christmas greeting. I don't remember, but I took it into an image altering software and I cropped it down, and then I added a filter like image enhanced it, and just kind of played around with it till it looked exactly the way I wanted it to. I love how the duck is just flying off of the snowy mountains. I've printed this on 110-pound white cardstock, so it is totally ready to go in a journal. I'm just going to take some frayed burlap and flick it on the edges. I was talking about that in another video. Such a technical term, flick. But just so it's ready for when I'm crafting, because these are going to go in my ephemera piles. And then I'm going to go one step further and ink on this side as well. I don't normally do that, but I just feel like kind of completing this all the way and having that. So I love that duck. You can get him under the birds section. This was a header from a book that was scanned in online. And I don't remember the book or anything like that as far as what the name of the book was, but I saw the header And I was like, this is incredible. And by the way, these sizes are just the size that I chose to print them. You could print them bigger or smaller. That's up to you. I just chose this size because this is the size I wanted to print them at. So I love these little birds. And I don't remember if I altered the image or not. This was one of the first ones I added to the club. But I thought this would be so cute. Okay, so let's pull out my example journal that the wonderfully talented Michelle Wynn from the Marketplace, she gave this to me for Christmas, and there will be a flip through of it over Christmas break, but I'm just showing you, this is going to be my example journal for 2021 for when I'm trying to show you how I would want to use things. So I was thinking like you glue here and here, and then you have a belly band, right? Look at that. See, something like that. Of course, you could glue it all the way down, or even on the edge of a page, you could stitch it on like that and make like a tab as well. So there's that one. This one was really beautiful, and I did have to work on this image a little bit because the way it had been scanned in, I don't know, it looked like you were looking at it through a screen door. And I think it was just like maybe the shine on the scanner camera or something. I really don't know. So when I took it into the image editing software, I put a fabric background on it to hide or to mask that kind of nasty scan look that didn't look professional. And now it looks like it is been etched or painted onto fabric. I don't know how well you can see that detail, but it looks so beautiful now. And I love how there's ducks and swans, so many different kinds. I knew this had to be included, and I'm going to ink it up so that it is ready to go in one of my journals. Beautiful. Love that one. This one has a story behind it. It was a greeting card front with these bluebirds, but the colors were muted. The birds didn't stand out. It wasn't quite right. So when I took it into the image editing software, I actually put like a digital cartoon painting cartoon type effect on it, and then I adjusted it so that it would look bright and bold and beautiful, but the base is actually a vintage image. Isn't that beautiful? I just think that would be so pretty in spring journals. So those are all the bird ones I have so far, but you know me, I will add so many more bird images to this club. Oh, might as well ink the back while we're at it. Why not? All right, the next one, this is fun. Okay, I already cut all of these out. This was an ephemera. It had been scanned in, and I think these are Raphael Tuck & Sons. They're vintage. This was actually like a fold out from a book. So it had the crease lines. The colors were dark. They hadn't been scanned in well. So again, I took them into the image software. I brightened it up. And then I cut it out and ripped the edges because they were like all of the crease marks and stuff like that. And so I kind of ripped along that so we'd have a really cool effect here. And I wanted to ink it up and it would be ready for pretty much any journal. This says Mrs. Puss and her family, and it's a mama cat with her babies. And then this one is Mrs. Bow and all the little wows. You know, Bow Wow. That was so cute. It's a mama dog and her 4 puppies. Mrs. Goat and her 2 kids. How cute is that? And then this one is Mrs. Cluck and her family. Mrs. Grunter and her family. Little pig. I guess I'm not inking the backs of all of them, but I suppose that's okay. And Mrs. Quack and her family. We have the daddy duck, the mommy duck, and the little ducklings. So these are under Farmyard. I came across this dragonfly image when I was looking for images for another club. I thought it was so stunning with the blue and green wings that I had to add it. And I did add a fabric-ish background. It's so light in the background, but it gives it texture and really it makes it look like a really nice piece of ephemera. And so I know that I will use this one, and probably pretty soon. That's beautiful. This one is also in the sheepfold. It's in the farmyard section. I think this was in a children's book that I was looking at online, and I was looking for a folder, looking for some images for Vintage Image Club, but I didn't like the other ones that went in the book, or they just didn't go well as a set. But I loved these sheep. This, I think, was pretty much the only image I really loved in that book. So I figured that it should go here into Nature Image Club under Farmyard. And it says in the sheepfold, you could cut that part off if you wanted, but I left a white border around it. This one, our Animal Kingdom, I had to brighten up because it was scanned in really dark. But I think this was the front of like a book, a little booklet or something. It's Raphael Tuck's and Sons, and it has some wildcats on it. And I think that'll be really nice in an eclectic journal. So those are the ephemera pieces so far. These are those little like vintage a scan of like, you know, those little vintage scrap pieces that people would use in like their scrapbooks once upon a long time ago. These are like ferns. And I thought not only would this be a beautiful journal page, so here's my idea with the journal page, but you know, you could kind of fussy cut them out. There's so many things you could do. Print it on coffee dyed paper, but here's what I'm going to do. I want to just messily rip around the edges because the edges of these ferns and these leaves are kind of, they're not straight. So I think this will make a really unique journal page. I think I might even use it in a journal I'm creating right now. All right. And then I'm going to ink. Wouldn't that just be really eye-catching in a journal? Super eye-catching. Really pretty. And then I made a paper pack. It's just 3 pages. But these I showed in a video recently, my Lindsay Creates video. I'm using one of these as a journal cover. You guys are voting on it as I film this, which one to use for the journal cover. But they're actually created as pages. I found these vintage images, and then I've added lace frames and labels to them. There's birds and flowers. And of course, they are meant to fold in half as journal pages. Like so. So that's everything that's in there right now. But like I said, every single week I am adding more images. So I think this week I added, I'm gonna see. This counted as 1 because it's actually just 1 image. I just cut it apart. So this is what I have added this week. So you get an idea about what to expect every week. I added this set, which I cut up, the duck, and the bluebirds. So you're going to get stuff every week, but you're not going to have to pay every week. So that is excellent. I hope you enjoy it for Christmas crafting. I hope you join. You get an automatic download link so you can start creating within minutes of your purchase. Thank you for supporting my channel. Purchasing these image clubs that I work on creating every week helps me more than you can ever imagine. Not only do I love working on it, but it provides income for my family. And we get to all craft with it and enjoy it. So I appreciate it. I really, really do. Thank you for making a difference in my life.